ladies and gentlemen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
This next prophecy I'm going to quote will also have words added by me that are clearly implied in the text. I'm going to add these to give the correct explanation of the text, and Dr. Brown can challenge me on any point. The Lord your God will raise up for you, the nation of Israel, a prophet like me, Moses, from among your brother nations. You must listen to him. This is what you asked of the Lord your God at Horeb on the day of the assembly, when you said, let me not hear the voice of the Lord our God or see this great fire anymore, so that I will not die. How do we know that this prophet like Moses will be raised amongst a nation other than Israel? Due to the fact that the pronouns refer to the nation of Israel as a singular person. It is common sense that a brother of a person referred to in a pronoun cannot be the one who the pronoun refers to. For example, the brother of Bob cannot be Bob himself. The brother of Israel cannot be Israel himself. Israel as a nation is personified as a singular person in this prophecy, with the pronouns you being singular, and phrases such as in verse 16, where it says, let me not again hear the voice of the Lord my God, nor see this great fire anymore, or I will die. Dr. Brown can show us another example in the Torah where the singular pronoun is used for the entire nation, yet brothers also refers to the same nation, namely Israel. Apart from one place, of which I will deal with in the rebuttals if Dr. Brown appeals to it, there is no such other case. This proves that this prophet like Moses will appear from a brother nation of the Israelites, such as the Ishmaelites, a fulfillment of God's spiritual promise to make Ishmael a great nation. Now the fact that God says in this prophecy that this prophet to be raised up will be like Moses is proof that this is a singular prophet who will be unique in the sense of being a mediator of a covenant and a lawgiver like Moses. This proves that the interpretation Dr. Brown believes of this being a line of prophets is false, and I challenge him to give us proof that this is about a line of prophets.
As for the text that I was asked to challenge from Deuteronomy 18, of course, what you just had is a perfect example of adding to the Bible. Not only adding to the Bible, but turning the words upside down.
Now, prepare for the shock.
Not only adding to the Bible, but turning the words upside down, upside down, upside down.
I said, prepare for the shock.
And understand how missionaries misread the Bible, how they manipulate the Bible, and how they use the Bible inappropriately to try to prove what they are selling. They transform these passages which are talking about other topics, and they insist, no, those are messianic prophecies that Jesus fulfilled.
Turning the words upside down, turning the words upside down.
That's what you call double standards?
Christian gets puzzled.
So Deuteronomy 18:50, Navi mikir b'cha me'achacha kamoni yakin lecha Adonai lehecha elav tishma'un. It's quite explicit. He will be mikir b'cha from your own midst, which occurs in the Torah 11 times, and every single time in the Torah, without exception, explicitly means from the midst of your people Israel, not from your brother nations, as you heard. That is not only adding to the Bible, it is twisting it and turning it upside down. From the midst of your people Israel. That is not only adding to the Bible, it is twisting it and turning it upside down. That is not only adding to the Bible, it is twisting it and turning it upside down.
And here we go.
Twisting it and turning it upside down. 10 times in Deuteronomy alone, it says, Mikir b'cha, drive out the evil from your midst. It always means, without exception, 100 times out of 100 in the Torah, from the midst of your people Israel. Was Muhammad an Israelite? No. Case closed. We don't even need to discuss it any further.
Now, Deuteronomy chapter 18, Dr. Brand said I added to the Bible. but he didn't specifically say where. Every single word I said when I broke down the text is implied in the text. So Dr. Brown should give me a specific example. Dr. Brown says that Deuteronomy says, Mikerev ka, which means within you, is used 11 times in the book of Deuteronomy. So that means he must be an Israelite. What Dr. Brown is doing is he's appealing to the Masoretic Text of Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse number 15, that has been expanded on to have the phrase, from within you of your brothers. The Septuagint lacks those words. The Qumran scrolls lack them words. Acts chapter 3, when it quotes the same word, lacks them words. Acts chapter 7, when it quotes them words, lacks them words. And even in the Masoretic Text, 3 verses later, when the actual the words of God are spoken, the words from within you are not mentioned. Moreover, scholars say that was expanded in the text to make it look like it must be an Israelite by blood, and I've got the quotes here anyway.
How come? How come? What games are you people playing?
Moreover, Dr. Brown himself doesn't know, with all due respect, that there's a difference in the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse number 15, Israel is personified as a single person. So when it's speaking about the brother of the single person Israel, it's speaking about another nation. All the texts you cited, which literally say within you, are speaking about brothers within the tribe of Israel. And I'll give you an example from Deuteronomy chapter 18 itself. Levi is spoken of twice in the same chapter, I think in verse number 2 and verse number 6. In verse number 2, he's speaking about the brothers of the tribe of Levi, meaning the other Israelite tribes. Whereas in verse 6, he's speaking about the brothers within the tribe of Levi.
As for Deuteronomy 18:15, we were told that the Dead Sea Scrolls of Deuteronomy 18:15 don't say Makir B'cha. That's because we don't have any Dead Sea Scroll for Deuteronomy 18:15. Please give me the manuscript number, the exact citation of Deuteronomy 18:15 in the Dead Sea Scrolls. According to my Dead Sea Scroll lexicon, it's not found there. If you find something contrary, please bring it to our attention. But do you want the list of where Mikir B'cha, from your own midst, where every single time it means from Israel? Deuteronomy 4:3, Deuteronomy 13:6, Deuteronomy 13:14, Deuteronomy 17:7, 19:19, 21:9, 21:21, 22:21, 22:24, and 24:7. Look them up, you'll see without fail. And it's fascinating, we're told that the Masoretic Text added these words in to say he had to be an Israelite, only to be told that they don't mean he had to be an Israelite. You can't have it both ways. We're told that the Masoretic Text added these words in to say he had to be an Israelite, only to be told that they don't mean he had to be an Israelite.
Doesn't make sense.
As far as Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15, you're right about the Dead Sea Scrolls. I meant to say Samaritan. So it's the Masoretic Text in verse number 18 that rules it out, the Septuagint that rules it out, the Samaritan that rules it out. Acts chapter 3 and Acts chapter 7 rule out those key words. And if you ask me, I'll quote some scholars who mention this is an expansion to the text.
I like this job. I like it.
Zakir has fought strenuously to remove the words Mikir B'cha from the Masoretic Text of Deuteronomy 18. And I pointed out that 11 times in the Torah quoted that every single time it means from the midst of within Israel. First he tried to show it didn't mean that. Now he tries to show that the words aren't even there and that they were added. Why? To show that it had to be an Israelite. Isn't that fascinating?
Doesn't make sense.
As to the technical term me'achecha, when you have it together, mikarev achecha, from the midst of your brothers, or mikir b'cha, me'achecha, from your own midst, from your brothers, it's only one meaning. Only one meaning in the Torah. Every single time, without exception, from the midst of your own people, Israel.
Acts chapter 3 quotes this verse, and it's the same as the Samaritan and Septuagint, from amongst your brothers, not from within you of your brothers, which is what the Masoretic text says, but from amongst your brothers. And Acts chapter 7, verse 37, the same thing. So Masoretic text verse number 18 exposes this falsehood. Septuagint exposes this falsehood. Samaritan exposes it. Acts chapter 3 exposes it. Acts chapter 7 exposes it. But did you notice in the debate, Dr. Brand wouldn't get away from the Masoretic text, even though when rabbis use the Masoretic text against the Christians to say that the New Testament contradicts what the Masoretic text says, all over his book, Dr. Brand tries to show that the Masoretic text is not the authoritative text, and he appeals to other texts. Like he'll appeal to variants and the Talmud quoted the Old Testament, and he'll appeal to the Dead Sea Scrolls, he'll appeal to the Targums. But all of a sudden in this debate, he wanted to cling to the Masoretic text. Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Without telling us
yeah,
why
too.
all these other versions should be rejected.
Is Muhammad prophesied in the Bible? Absolutely, categorically, no, not a chance. But Jesus wonderfully is. But Jesus wonderfully is.
There's an old joke, a Jewish one. Why did God invent Mormons? So Christians will know exactly how Jews feel. There's an old joke. There's an old joke.
But Jesus wonderfully is.
I thought my jokes were bad.
الذين آتيناهم الكتاب يعرفونه كما يعرفون أبناءهم وإن فريقا منهم ليكتمون الحق وهم يعلمون.
All right, so listen, why don't you give me a call when you want to start taking things a little more seriously? Here's my card.